Hello and welcome back to the Red Shutter Club. I'm here. Oh, nope, I'm not, because we haven't changed this yet.
When the camera's on, it's all a big bit of fun on the big Red Shutter Club. On the big Red Shutter Club.
Okay, so now that we're actually ready.
Yes.
Hello and welcome back to the Red Shutter Club. I'm here today with Cheery.
Hi.
The cheery as ever.
It's true.
And my fellow American.
Yes. Hello, fellow American.
So, yeehaw. Yippee-ki-yay.
Howdy.
We're required by law to greet each other in such a way or else our visas will be revoked.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Need to make sure there's plenty of y'alls in this episode as well.
Oh, there will be.
Yeah.
I am a quarter Texan, so I'm prepared.
Perfection.
Yeah. And you're from Kansas,
yeah.
Well, we're not in Kansas anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sure you get that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Should I see myself out?
No, you're okay. You're okay. I feel like the way that people from here probably get like, oh, the Beatles all the time. Anytime I tell someone I'm from Kansas, they're like, where are your red slippers? I'm like, oh, that's okay.
So you feel their pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh my goodness. So, Katlyn, just tell us a bit about you, a bit of how you ended up over here, what you did back in the States.
Yeah. So I have been a musician for a very, very, very long time. I've been kind of centrally located in Kansas my whole life. And then I met a gentleman from Liverpool. And so I followed my heart and it led me here, which I have no complaints of because I was really excited. I'd been here a good handful of times before I actually made the move. And yeah, I honestly love it so much. And it was kind of just an added excuse for me to sort of revamp the music I was making, sort of create a new project, write and record a new album, and then bring it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those Scousmen, they do get to you.
They do.
They do.
They do.
Dangerous. Well, you're not.
I'm not really scared.
You're not Scouts. So how long have you actually been in Liverpool then?
2 months.
Holy shit.
Very,
Okay.
very fresh. Very fresh. 2 months. Yeah.
Oh, so when Jamie said, "Oh, you should talk to Cheery, she's new in town."
Yeah, literally
2
new.
months ago, he meant like you'd just gotten.
Yes. Actually, yeah, I want to say it was the first few days of, I had actually been communicating with him and a good other handful of musicians from here like a solid year back, trying to kind of set myself up for success and at least meet a few people that I thought were doing music that was kind of adjacent to what I do. And and he, among a few other people, were people that I kind of were like, well, hit me up when you get here. And the first literally few days I was here, I saw that he was playing at Future Yard and was like, all right, I'll go. And that was the first official show I saw here too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what an entrance to have Canadian Jamie as your entrance.
Oh
to the
yeah.
music scene.
Oh yeah. He reminds me of a lot of folks that I'm, close with back home. I love the characters. I love the creatives, and that's what I'm really drawn to. So,
well, even he's Canadian, but he's more American than any American that I've met. So,
right.
Just brings you back to Kansas. Well, then, how were you able to find people while you were still back in the States?
I think it came from decades of self-promotion and finding creative solutions to make connections. And therefore I would start with the venues and kind of get go to a venue page and seeing posters that they had, and then kind of see which of those bands on the posters were local, and then listen to them. And if they were cool and I liked what they did, then I'd see the bands that they were playing with, and just kind of, I've got quite a intense brain, not in I'm saying I'm super smart, but that it's wild, and it leads me on various journeys.
Very creative solutions. Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah.
So what are the differences that you've seen so far between the States and here?
Yeah. I mean, are we just talking musically? Because I could talk for 2 hours about the other differences. But I mean, not necessarily good or bad or anything. I think the biggest thing musically to me is how shows are booked. Are definitely very, very different from America, at least kind of in the area I'm from, the people I had worked with, as far as like, it's very kind of, hey, can I play a show? And they're like, yeah, okay. You know, and then this is like, seems a little bit more promoter driven. You know, and again, I've played 4 shows since I've moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And they've all kind of just fallen into my lap. So I haven't had to go through that process too much here, but that was something I was particularly nervous about moving here was, like I've been doing this for like 20 years and now this is like a whole other world, you know? So how do I navigate this? And I'm still figuring it out, but it's less scary than I initially was worried about.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's pretty fair. I don't have the experience. I've played 2 shows in New York and they fell into my lap.
Yeah.
So I had no experience when I came over here. So this is all that I know, but it is a confusing little area sometimes, especially in Liverpool with so many musicians.
Yeah. And it does seem like, I mean, obviously somewhere like Kansas City, they're really great cities in Kansas, but the tourism and the amount of sort of like various levels of gigging versus playing more like indie shows. Obviously the world is very much more like expansive here than it would be even in like Kansas City, because as much as Kansas City is a hub for a lot of things, it's nothing ever is quite as touristy as like Liverpool comparatively, right? So
I mean, I've been to Kansas City a few times actually. My cousin went to med school there, so I went out to visit her, and very different environment. I couldn't find the Matthew Street.
Yeah. It's and obviously in America everything is so much more like expansive as far as distance and space, and so that's another giant difference here, and one that I'm like I very much welcome is the idea that, you know, even let's say London, you know, taking a train or even driving, you know, 4 hours to London, if I grew up with a New York 4 hours away from me, I would like to think my life would be pretty dramatically different, right? And as opposed to Kansas City or Kansas, where the closest place that's more of a larger hub I would go is maybe Chicago, which is about 8 hours. And I did that drive every weekend, you know? So it's things like that where I definitely want to utilize the closeness of things here.
Yeah, which it's funny, people don't recognize that. First of all, I know that... I don't know what the reaction is when you say you're from Kansas, but people always go, "Are you from New York? What are you doing here?" But because they think I mean New York City. Sure. Whereas I live 4 hours from New York City. Yeah. And I'm in the middle of the state. Yeah. Like, New York is the size of England. I think people don't understand just how massive the states are. But you're totally right. I mean, I've been looking at gigs and stuff, and as soon as it becomes financially viable to go to London for a gig, I will.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because it's not that far.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Like I've got I'm working with someone in Manchester to book some gigs, and she's like, "I'll keep you in Liverpool so it's easy," and I'm like, "Don't. No, it's an hour."
But it does. I'm surprised, and also the longer I've been here, not so surprised that the mentality of a lot of people from here is kind of, you know, that distance or the difficulty of getting from one place to another does kind of like adapt to the smaller place. So it does seem like people are quite troubled here, like traveling, even at a very close distance, because to them it isn't such a close distance. Yeah. It's crazy to me. I didn't anticipate that. And it's really interesting psychologically, like how that is. Yeah. Yeah.
In your fresh culture shock, music aside, what has been one of the weirdest things?
Well, honestly, one of the biggest things is the territorialism. Territorialism. Thank you. I've said it so much in my brain that now my mouth won't say it. Territorialism. Wow. So I live right now in Wallasey, so I live over the water, and the amount of like advice I ask from maybe like Reddit or, you know, some sort of things of like, what's a great place to eat over here? And I get so many like, well, I'm from Liverpool, I've never been that way, and it's like 10 minutes away. You've never it's so, you know, I get on a bus outside of my house and I'm down here in 15 minutes, and yet if you grew up on that side, like it is crazy to me, the intensity of that when it's so close.
I think New York City's kind of like that with like if
like
you're on
Brooklyn,
different like Staten Island, and we don't talk about Staten Island.
Oh, I got on the Staten Island ferry, but was told to not get off and ride it back, and that's what I did. So
yeah, we got off, and that was fun.
Yeah,
but like even talking about like going to Future Yard, the gig at Future Yard, there were so many people that weren't there.
Yeah.
That I expected to be there, but because it's across the water.
Yeah. And I do think, as quirky as that is, I think that it is like a huge disadvantage to everyone who feels that way. You know, like why you're in such a small area just on the grand scheme of things, just in the UK alone, you know, like explore and experience everything, and to make it so kind of like weirdly hierarchical is it's probably the one thing that's genuinely like kind of bothered me here, because I'm very much of like
there'll be more, trust me.
Oh, I'm sure. But no, I mean, I really do love it here, but it's things like that where I'm just like, this is so silly, you know?
It is silly.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it was a classmate of mine said they were going to go stay the weekend in Manchester, talking about it like they were going on an 8-hour journey.
Right.
Getting on a plane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, son.
Yeah.
So I have 2 questions that I'm asking everybody. The first is, and I know you're still new to the scene, but what is a song that you've heard as part of the Liverpool music scene that you wish you wrote?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, honestly, just from going to that Black Utah show, like a lot of songs that he does are pretty amazing.
BHX is my favorite. He won't play.
Yeah. What else? There, you know, I mean, I've gotten a chance to play with a lot of pretty cool folks in the very short amount of time I've been here. I don't know. This is going to be like a really, really dumb answer, and I don't know, this is gonna be a really dumb answer, but because this song came from here, even though it's not like, this probably is a cheating, but I moved here like the week of Eurovision, pretty much the week of Eurovision, right? And to me, that was just an absolute delight, because, you know, in America, nobody really cares about Eurovision.
No, when I said Eurovision, I'd have to say, you remember that Will Ferrell movie that nobody watched a few years ago?
And I was like so delighted by the prospect of being here and seeing such like an amazing circus, and being in like getting to go to Euro Village and all. It was just amazing. And when they did the little thing where they were having like the medley of all the songs written here, that cover, gonna mess it all up. One of them, that the gentleman with long hair that everyone loves, who is Icelandic, he did his name's like Dao Freyr. What is his name? What is it? Do you know what I'm talking about? Am I insane?
That's his name. No, I don't care what it is.
Okay.
I don't care what it was.
No, it's an Icelandic name. If anyone listened to it, like, people are going to know what I'm talking about. He did a cover of, I should have literally looked this up, but it's a song from a band from here from like the 90s. I literally am not giving you any information. I'm just saying general things.
Is it The Laws?
No. It's like is it Atomic Kitten? That song, which the original is very like 90s, I believe it was 90s, but he did a cover of that at Eurovision as like a part of a medley of like songs from Liverpool. And I know I'm not giving any actual information, but if people know what I'm talking about, that cover of that song has been stuck in my head nonstop since I moved here.
Okay, all right.
And it's addictive. Yeah, he's cool. He's got like I've talked to a few people here now who love him. He's Icelandic, but he plays here a lot, and I guess he's got kind of like a Bo Burnham vibe. He's pretty sweet, but yeah,
we're here for the Bo Burnham vibes.
As
always.
Yeah,
always, every day.
What a bad answer to your question. Sorry.
Listen, we've had stranger conversations in my living room. If you didn't know, this is my living room. Just moved around a little bit. But okay, second question.
Sure.
Again, I know you're new.
Yeah, that's fine.
The entire music scene goes into an octagon, head to head.
Oh my God.
Who wins?
Well, me, because I've stepped into the ring and I'm very excited. And no, you know what though? Honestly, I will totally use that as a segue to just say, like, I have been probably the hungriest I have ever been since I've moved here. And it's just for friendship and collaboration, and because I've been in the same scene and I've been very lucky to tour a lot and meet a lot of people from all over, but this has been the first situation where I've genuinely, you know, been very much moved out of my comfort zone. And I really am like, I'm reaching out to people constantly, and I'm probably scaring them, but it's really because
we're Americans, we scare everybody.
Yeah. I genuinely like, I really want people to hear my music. I really want people to play shows with me. And I'm talking about like other musicians, you know, I really want to collaborate with other musicians, even if it's on like a very like small level, you know, we don't have to like commit to a bunch of stuff, but I just, I'm so hungry to get into this scene and really feel it out and kind of like put myself in. And I'm very non-competitive. I'm very like, I'm at the point where I've done this long enough. I just want to have fun and make good music and do the best I can. And that's kind of where I'm coming from. But yeah, so I would say Octagon, throw me and all the folks in here, and I'll just give a big hug.
That's the first big hug.
Yeah.
Ike said he was going to bring flowers and then get pummeled. But I think with that, we'll head off to our couch concert.
Perfect.
Do you know what you're going to play? Do you know what you're going to be playing for us today?
I am going to do one of 2 singles I have out right now. It's called Concept of Love.
How ethereal.
Thank you.
I definitely didn't pull out my thesaurus for that one. Thank you so much for coming on the show and joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Always my fellow Americans. Listen, how else are we going to take them over, you know?
Oh. I've been kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to sort of make like a makeshift 4th of July celebration. Because I love 4th of July and it has nothing to do with the actual history of it, but I love 4th of July and I'm going to miss it.
Actually, my bassist and I,
Uh-huh.
we're going to try this. It doesn't matter because it's out in the fall, but I'm going to talk to Hemingway's tonight and see if they'll let us play Independence Day on their massive TV.
Yes.
And we'll just try and get a crowd down. It's Tuesday.
I also have one more question for you.
Yeah.
I would have never thought I would ask this question, but is there anywhere to get actual like hot dogs here? Because every place I see that have hot dogs, they're sausages and they're not hot dogs.
I have no idea. I haven't had a hot dog.
Okay.
I've only seen them in jars, which is fucking disgusting.
I know. Me too. I passed that.
Yeah,
Pass.
I've been told that there are ways to get actual hot dogs.
Yeah.
Have you found the macaroni and cheese in a can yet?
Oh, no.
Don't.
No.
Don't. Comment down below if you know where to get hot dogs.
Yeah. We're talking like kosher, like the Nathan's equivalent.
Some ballparks.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it clean.
I didn't even eat a lot of hot dogs in America, but because I cannot find them, I'm craving them all the time.
You know, my parents, for the first Christmas that I moved here, I told them how much I missed Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Because it's disgusting, but you get a taste for it sometimes. Yeah. They emptied 10 boxes and just gave me the packets to smuggle back into the country.
I've been sent ranch packets already.
Oh, I've got the jar. I've got the shaker. I might have a spare if you need it. So comment that down below where to get these items. I've introduced a few people to American peanut butter.
Yes.
My friend Ellie ate an entire jar within a week of her just crashing on my couch.
Yes.
And I've changed her life. I've changed her life, James.
So something I've been doing since I moved here, and another way to kind of like utilize creativity, is I've been doing food review songs. So I've been trying to try all of the restaurants here, and I don't have money. So I basically thought, well, if I can write the restaurants a song, maybe they'll give me free food, and it's worked. And so I have an Instagram now called Sing for Her Supper, where I do food review songs every week. So keep an eye out for that.
Anything else you want to plug?
Yes. I have a record coming out over the next 10 months via Spirit House Records. And every single month I'll be releasing a single and a music video until I believe next March. So I re-released 2 singles this month, but starting July, I'm going to be having a brand new song and music video out every single month. So please keep an eye out for that.
It's too much. What is enough? This concept.
Don't go as far as he did. He deep-throated it when we did his interview. Maybe not.
I did see that.
Yeah. Most of Liverpool has, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who cares? I've been so negative.
Poor Ali Horn. We interviewed him the day after your interview, and he's like, I did see James's video. Have you? So, hello, and welcome back to the Red Shutter Club. I'm here today with a lot of people. The lovely band Maggie Witch.
Hello.
Woo.
Hello.
We've got 2 mics to share between them. We're censoring poor Jack and Kieran for this episode.
Yeah, they're not allowed to speak.
So, just tell us a bit about your band. Tell us a bit about yourselves.
Okay, sweet. Well, we started off like over a year ago. I mean, me and Jack were in the band a little bit longer, because I've been trying to get this specific band going for like so long, too long. And then
It's always how it is.
it was ridiculous. And there was a bunch of trial and error with it. But Jack stuck around, and I was like, that's cool. So then Kieran shortly joined, and then Will was the last one in.
Woo.
And then it's just been going since then.
Oh, God. And you said you've been playing for like a year as well, pretty consistently. Yeah.
Yeah. We try to do as many gigs as we can, just because we like to gig. I mean,
we barely ever turn down a show as well.
yeah, no, it is rare that we turn down a show. I think we must have turned down like 3. I think it's about 3, to be honest. But yeah, that's it. But we've just been trying to consistently like put ourselves out there and like get our name out there and do things, because I feel like we're a bit of an odd band, and you know it's a bit of a tricky one to like. So we're just like, if we put it in people's faces a bunch, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll deal with it.
Well, has that worked for you? I mean, gigging for a year, I'd assume, yes.
Yeah, totally. I think so. I mean, we have familiar faces at gigs, and then we play gigs where afterwards we'll get like, you know, a bunch of followers and more people that come down to the next one. So each gig is just more people who come down, which is, I mean, it's really interesting to see. It's interesting to see people's reaction to it, because I mean, we all think it's like fucking sick, but it's you never really know if someone else is gonna think that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know.
I think it's nice how we all kind of come from different musical backgrounds in a way. Like I started off as like a very metal drummer. Edith, what stuff did you start singing first?
Well, I did a bunch of like originals, and they were all very dream poppy, and I hated it. I like the whole time I was gigging by myself with the acoustic, and I was just like, oh, this doesn't feel right.
And you're kind of from like a math rockish background.
No, not at all. I'm not good enough for math rock. I started on bass actually, because all my mates in high school would go into like the practice room, and then I would join them. And the only thing that like still had all its strings that I could plug in and make it loud was the bass. And then some awful person taught me Seven Nation Army, and I played that for about 4 months straight.
War crime.
Until I finally asked for a guitar for Christmas, and then I started trying to like learn all like the top 10 easiest guitar solos. Jack?
Well,
Jack.
I just kind of came out of nowhere. I'm technically the newbie to music in the band. I've only been playing for about 4 years now.
Oh, only 4 years.
Yeah, so compared to these guys, unfortunately, it's not very long. But yeah, obviously, I enjoy my funk, and I try and inject that into my bass lines, try and keep it offbeat a bit. Kind of groovy, really. But yeah, thank you.
He's the John Paul Jones of the band. We've actually got a song called JPJ, because he just wrote like the sickest bass line for it. So I was like, we need to just call this JPJ. Only makes sense.
Well, that's nice then. I've found my band has a lot of different backgrounds. Do you just kind of come together and see how your different styles merge?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, we've got a bunch of different aspects to it. I mean, we have like jazz aspects, and then we've got grunge aspects and punk, and I don't know, it's a big mash, but it works.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think it's worth noting that you are our first band that we've had on here, and we've had almost 30 interviews now. So what do you think, I guess that success at a band level is from, rather than individual? Like, what's keeping you guys together and not wanting to tear each other's heads off?
Oh.
Well, nobody said we didn't want to tear each other's heads off.
I was waiting
That's
for
a
it.
very bold assumption.
I mean, a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, a lot of alcohol and all that kind of malarkey.
Well, this is England. Everybody does.
Exactly. But yeah, to be fair, I think we've got quite a solid foundation, which is, it's the backbone of any good band. Yeah, sure, sometimes we want to punch each other, but that's it's that kind of passion that keeps us together in kind of a strange way.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it, at least.
I think it's also because we all have our own kinds of sides of music that we all love, and then someone will bring an idea, and what makes us original as a band is that because we all have these different backgrounds, we bring loads of other aspects into different songs, and the majority of the songs that we have have different vibes, and it's not just like one whole sound all the way through our sets as well. Like someone said to me once that like we're the only band that can put Hey by the Pixies and Killing in the Name in the same set.
I respect that. I really do. Also, I'm pretty sure one of you just said the word malarkey.
It's genuinely one of my favourite words. I inject into every conversation I can.
I didn't know we were interviewing Joe Biden today, but
Well,
good evening, Mr.
probably get
President.
more sense out of him.
Oh goodness, so probably with time for one more question. Is there something specific you want me to?
Oh, I don't know.
At the time that this will eventually air, we should be working on an EP, basically. We've got 2 songs out, a third to come out soon at the time of recording. But by the time we air, we should be well, should be out by that point. Oh, hello. We should be at
That's
least
your
halfway
sign that
there.
it needs to be out.
Yeah.
We're trying our hardest, but yes,
Mhm.
we've got 2 more songs to record, mix and master and all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, we should be on our way.
Yeah, nice.
Definitely,
very
yeah.
nice.
I mean, when we do the EP, I mean, I'm struggling to figure out what I want to do with it,
Mhm.
because we've got these 3 songs, but I feel like once this next one is out, I'm gonna be like, right, let's move on from that, because we have been working those songs for like quite a while now, and I've floated the idea of doing something a bit more conceptual and a bit
Mhm.
more, you know, dirty, gritty. I kind of want to get this like type of like horrible like Las Vegas vibe in it, of like this like gnarly stuff, and we do have a song like that called La Table, which I'm like obsessed with. But it's just that guy is fuming. But it's just, it is something that we're trying to play around with, I think, and we're definitely going to be writing more over the summer, so I'm really excited to see where that goes and where that puts us.
Well, I'm excited as well. Now, there's 2 questions that I've been asking everybody this season. So first, out of the Liverpool music scene, we have so many wonderful artists. Is there a song that you wish you wrote?
Yeah.
Oh, that was quite a reaction.
Right. He's gonna hate me for this, because I'm pretty sure he hates doing this song over and over again. But Tom Lane's Barbara.
She gives me the eyes, been in for a kiss, sweat in my head and they give her a miss. Puts the bar towards her lager. Guess who's there? It's only fucking Barbara. Barbara, I know you only want the best. But Barbara, you think for one day you could give it a rest.
Ridiculous. It's
Barbara.
ridiculous. It's so good. Oh my god.
That was to explain the Scouse accent. That's the video I sent home to my parents.
Barbara.
Barbara. We'll
I
put
just
a
can't
clip in. I
believe
think
it.
I have a clip from phase 1 somewhere.
So good. All of Tom Lane's songs, to be honest. I wish I wrote all of those songs. I do think he is the best. Like,
Such a talented guy.
Yeah.
Like,
totally. I think he's the best singer-songwriter in Liverpool at the minute. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
He's a cherub. And second question. Entire Liverpool music scene goes into the octagon, throwing bows. Who wins?
Maggie Witch.
I back that.
Ooh.
Just Edith on her own,
I
to be
know,
fair.
yeah.
Like,
Just windmill on.
yeah. The amount of people that have come up to me after a show and been like, I would not want to have an argument with Edith.
But I'm honestly a sweetheart, guys. You've seen this.
Don't believe
I'm
that
so
she's
nice
lying.
and kind. I mean, I think throwing hands. Who's the best? I think I've got a father-son duo answer for this question. As Tom Lane was my last, Barry Sutton's winning. Barry Sutton's winning.
Fair play, fair
He's
play.
totally winning. Like, you know, there's no way.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh yeah.
So I think with that, we'll head off to your couch concert. Do you know what you're playing
Sounds
for
good.
us today?
Yeah, totally. We're going to be doing a song called Tall Man. It's our acoustic version of it, which is actually about something that is a little bit sensitive, but it's about these men I knew in high school,
Oh.
the worst, and they were, I don't know, they were very, I don't know how to word it without.
I think most women watching will understand from
Yeah.
the men I knew in high school alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's about the men I knew in high school.
Yeah.
Or the boys, to be more specific. But yes. The lads, isn't it? It is. It's just about the lads, isn't it? You know.
was a lot of fun.
Was it indeed?
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having us. Like,
Of course, man. Of course.
You are.
I see what you were saying earlier. I wouldn't. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm gonna. Should be done.
Yeah.
You are really good at this. You are so good at it.
Right. We want you to come stream Maggie Witch's music. We're out on all platforms, Spotify, YouTube, whatever. Apple Music. Don't you dare forget about Apple Music. Oh, yeah, a little bit of Naps. Oh, Deezer as well.
We're on every streaming platform.
YouTube.
He said YouTube.
You can see all our content on Instagram, and you can see how late we get to practices on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Links in the description.
Links in the description.
So thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you guys for tuning in.
She's okay, why she